It's Pride Week in Fargo, and we thought it would be a great time to learn a little more about the LGBTQ Liaison at the Fargo Police Department. And Officer Andrea Knoll is with us this morning. Good morning. How are you today?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I am doing very well, thank you. And I think a lot of people might be surprised to hear that there is an LGBTQ liaison with the Fargo Police Department. And so what is that role and why was it created?
So when I first started, I've been with the department for about 5.5 years, and I have been the LGBTQ liaison for about 3. And so my primary role was also always patrol. And so the LGBTQ liaison role ended up being a secondary position. I was able to do it when I had the time. And so recently, back in March, I applied to be a part of the community engagement team as a community trust officer for the department. And part of getting that role, they decided, you know what, we're going to add the LGBTQ liaison because obviously we see the need for it in the community, in the department, and several other departments around the country have it. And I've done a lot of research on kind of what they do. I've reached out to them and say, hey, what kind of programs do you guys have? Different things like that. So when I took on this role, I was able to add that onto my position as the community trust officer, and so now I'm able to dedicate a lot more time to the role itself. So
very nice. And so you said that there is a need for it. What is that need? Is it that they were seeing that people in the LGBTQ community were hesitant to talk to the police?
There's always been, a little bit of distrust within the community, and so the role of the LGBTQ liaison is to talk with the community members and figure out, how can we bridge that gap between the LGBTQ community and the police department and really gain good relationships so that if something were to happen, obviously they feel comfortable coming to us, and obviously we're extremely respectful to them. So it kind of goes both ways.
Yeah, we hear in the news all the time about some terrible things that can happen to people in that community, especially recently.
Yep.
The trans community. A lot of people are getting attacked for just being who they are, and so nothing along those lines has happened here in Fargo, but the city did just adopt a new ordinance, a hate crime ordinance, and so you're involved in helping people with reporting that, I believe, or how would that go about?
Yes, so at the end of June, beginning of July, the city passed actually 3 separate ordinances. One is for criminal mischief, simple assault, and harassment. So each one of those ordinances, a hate crime addition was added to each, which now is considered, it's a B misdemeanor through the city. And so it's punishable up to $1,500 fine and up to 30 days in jail if you are convicted of those crimes. And so with adding that, we've seen, I don't think there's been a huge uptick in the reporting necessarily, but at least it's there, so we actually have something we can charge somebody with if these crimes were to happen. And so a big thing is obviously if it's an emergency, please call 911 and an officer will come out. There is a non-emergency number, or if you would like, on our website, you can actually contact me directly if you don't feel comfortable calling the police or anything like that. So you can just come to me and I can either take the report or I can reach out to you and we can talk about things. And
so this week it's Pride in Fargo Moorhead. So what's it like for you personally, just as Andrea the human and for Andrea the police officer, to see these events happening proudly and publicly in Fargo Moorhead?
Well, I love Pride. That's probably one of my favorite weeks out of the year. I really enjoy this year being part of the community engagement team. Several other officers came to me and said, hey, Andrea, how can we help out? We want to be a part of this too. And we never really got the opportunity. So this year there's going to be several officers at the park and different events. And we see it as a huge engagement opportunity where, we're set up at a booth and we hand out stickers and we just talk to people. And that's something that I absolutely love, is just getting to know the community, showing my face out there so they may feel comfortable coming to me or another officer, just different things like that. And a big part is, the police department wants to show the support, right? So we want to show the community that, hey, we support you guys, and obviously we offer that avenue of safety as well in that support.
Because at the end of the day, we all want a happy, healthy, and safe community, and
absolutely,
we all need to work together to get there.
Yep.
All right, Officer Knoll, well, thank you for joining us today.
Yes, thank you.
Coming up here on today's show, we are going to be talking about Pride that is happening in Fargo-Moorhead. We just mentioned it, but we'll have more with the